Hey, this is Dr. Daniel Bay with Close for Chiro, and I got my good buddy Sean. What's up, Sean?
Hey, Dr. Dan, what's going on today?
All right, hey, check it out. So today's video is about a doc in the field. Real story, true story. 40 new patients a month and still broke. Still living in his parents' basement.
No good.
Now, Sean, how does that actually happen?
There's only one explanation for it. You're great at marketing, you can get the new patients in, but you just suck at closing.
Yeah, so check out the rest of the story. 40 new patients a month. This doc is closing less than 50% of them, which means that less than 20 of them are actually coming on for care. And of those 20 new patients that start, none of them finish out the care plans. They're out of the office between 7 and 9 visits. I mean, if there's an abomination to this thing we call chiropractic, it's that right there. And we see it in this profession all the freaking time, and it has to stop. Now, Sean, you have a really interesting story because you used to do a ton of visits. You were high volume, right? Mm-hmm. But you were still struggling. So tell me about that.
Well, I tell you, to see the volume and to sustain that practice, I had to see high volume of new patients too. And you talk about a stressful way to practice. I mean, in the beginning, sure, it's fun. The tables are full, the office is cranking. But in order to maintain that, I had to go out and see at least double-digit new patients a week, which isn't bad. But the way I was coached and the way I was doing it, it was a matter of, it doesn't matter what it takes. Get them on the table. Keep your tables full at any cost. And I'll tell you what that did. Fed my ego, starved my bank account. Had a lot of fun in the office, but at the end of the month, not much left, man. Not much in the bank to speak for it.
Absolutely. Bummer. And you know what? We hear about that all the time in the profession of high volume docs that are charging peanuts and constantly having to turn over new patients. It's kind of like being in a business where you're constantly turning over staff. We know how stressful that is. We know what it takes to go out and get new patients. So check this out. We're going to make it really simple for you right now. You don't have to change a thing. The only thing you have to change is to get from a 50% close rate to, you do our stuff bad, you're at 75%.
Yeah.
That's a game changer. Now, you know, Sean, I'm Asian, but I'm not very good at math, right?
No, you're not.
I'm really not. But I do know that if you have 40 new patients coming in and you're closing 75% of them as opposed to the 50%, I mean, that could be literally changing your practice overnight by double. On top of that, if you could figure out a way to charge and collect just a little bit more per visit by explaining the value of what you do so people are willing to pay for it, now it's completely game over. Would you agree with that, Sean?
Oh, 100%. Not only are you going to get paid what you're worth, but you're actually going to close more of those people that are already coming in to your office because you create value. And let me say, if you've got 40 new patients a month and you're closing the industry average of 50%, what are those other 50% doing? Do you think they're just walking in to come out of the rain? No, they need you. They need what we have. It's just we haven't shown them the value for them to actually part with their money. And I'll tell you what else is very frustrating. These docs who feel like they need to see, or they do need to see 40, 50 new patients a month to sustain their office, what ends up happening is if they're only closing half of them, think about what they're doing in order to get those other 50 to close, which I don't even want to think about, but most likely getting chiseled, reducing their fees, reducing their recommendations. So now these patients go out, they don't get the correct recommendations, they're paying peanuts, and they're not getting well, so they go out and say, hey, you know what? I tried Dr. Dan, I tried Dr. Sean, I tried chiropractic, it didn't work. And I'll tell you what, that's a stressful practice. Oh, and you know, the other trick to that is, who do you think that those patients that chisel you down and don't follow your recommendations, who do you think they end up referring to your office?
The same ones, man.
The same ones. So now you're building this shitstorm in your office of all these low quality patients that aren't paying, that aren't following recommendations. I tell you what, man, that is a recipe for disaster, for stress, and that's something I would want no part of. And it's unfortunately too many docs in this profession are living that dream every day.
Oh, so
Nightmare.
True. Yeah, so true, so true. So check it out. If we can find a way to get your practice doubled overnight, and people have been talking about this for years. The coaches from the 1970s been talking about it. But I'm telling you, it happens behind our closed doors every single day with the docs that we train on how to close, how to communicate with a patient from A to Z, get them to see the value for what you do, and then have them comply with it because they understand it is that important to them, not to the doc. And that's how we do it. It's incredible. So check it out. This is the stuff that we talk about in Masterclass. Get you from A, B, C, all the way to Z. Hold your hand through the whole process because it is a process and it is a science in effect. It's not esoteric. It's something that anyone can learn if you're open to it. So again, You don't need you do not need more new patients. I'm telling you. It's the biggest, and new patient marketers would love to let you know you need 30, 40, 50 new patients. That's how they make a living. But we're telling you that that's not the game. The game is getting them in and then closing them into the best healthcare product in the world so that you're saving their life at the same time, saving the huge amount of aggravation in going out and getting more new patients. It's just a roller coaster ride that I don't want to be on. And Sean, I know you're not in, and I'm pretty sure whoever's watching, we don't want that for you as well. Okay?
For sure.
So, you got anything else, Sean, before we cut it out?
No, I was just going to say, you nail it, man. You don't need more new patients. You just need to learn how to close. And imagine if you're already seeing 40, 50, 60 new patients a month, but you just close another 20% of those. Oh, that's a game changer, man. That's life-changing. So you're right. You don't need new ones. You just need to you need to have a system to close the ones that you're already getting in your office. Don't work harder, docs. Work smarter. Be more profitable. Run your business like a business is supposed to run.
That's how we roll. All right. So listen, guys, this ain't in the beta testing. We've been doing this hand over fist for the past 4 or 5 years with the people that have been talking about it. And hey, listen, I'm just as surprised as you are that this stuff works, but it works. So I want you guys to check out our next masterclass. Somewhere come in the line, link on the top, link on the bottom. Check it out. Check us out. And we're really successible. Is that a word? Did I just make up a new word again, Sean?
We're successfully successible.
There you go.
Or is it accessible?
Accessible. So check us out. You can drop us a line, email us, call us, whatever. We are still in practice as well. We're busy just like you. And I want to let you know that this is the stuff that we work on every single day in our practices. We just want to share that with you guys as well. All right. So hey, thanks for checking out this video, and we'll check you out later.
See you guys.